All right, ladies and gentlemen, are we going into World War III? We might be. I don't know. I hope not. I'm praying that we don't. But the way things are going, it seems like we're getting closer to that day. Why am I talking about this? Is because yours truly, Joe Byron, gave Ukraine the green light, the go ahead, the let's do it to it. Come on, let's get it on, and gave Ukraine the authority to shoot 8 missiles into the belly of the beast, into Russia, deep into Russia. Not just right here on the border. No, I'm saying let's go deep. Let's go ahead and move right on in. Okay, and these aren't Ukraine's missiles. This ain't the United Nations missiles. It's not the UK's missiles. No, it's our missiles. So that happened a couple of days ago. It went into deeper than usual into Russia, and the big bad wolf, the bad mama jamma, Putin. Of course, he's gonna get pissed off. Not only did he get pissed off, but he also made a change into the nuclear weapons doctrine, which basically said that if anybody, any country, dares to engage in war or shoot missiles, and they just happen to be, let's just say, friends with the U.S. or friends with a country that have nuclear weapons, which we do, that they're going to he's going to lower the threshold, and basically if he wants to, if he feels like he's threatened, he'll be using nuclear weapons, which of course is going to be chaos, mayhem. So I think it was a stupid move that Joe Byron. I mean, this guy. I mean, he's not even running the country at this point, man. Whoever his handlers is or are the elites, they're the ones who's running and calling the shots. Why would Joe Byron want to try to poke the beast, poke the bear, and start a war? He's about to retire. He's about to not be president anymore. Now, do I believe that maybe this is his plan? This is maybe not his plan, but his the people that are controlling him. Is it maybe their plan? Why would you want to start World War III or just any war during a transition in the presidency? Now, you guys can correct me on this. I'm not too informed in this, but I believe that if there is an active war in the United States, that whoever is still president, let's say if there's a active war during the transition of a presidency, of a new president, I think that whoever's president stays president either until the war is over or they continue for 4 more years. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's what happens. If I'm not mistaken. So I started to think, do you think this is a way to keep the Democrats in power, in charge? Could be. That's one scenario. Another scenario that's coming to mind is there's talks of Joe Byron also probably going to resign between now and January. And if that's so, if he resigns, or even in this month, if he does, guess who's president? Kamala Harris is going to step up. Now, if there's an active war, guess who's president? Kamala Harris is going to be your president. This is some scary stuff. Not only is that scary for America, but if the big bad bear, Russia, feels threatened, feels like he's put in a corner, he's going to boom, if you know what I mean. And he's going to have some help. I'm sure he's going to get some help from China. He's going to get some help, I'm going to say, from North Korea, maybe. We have Cuba south of us. It's going to be a scary deal, guys. We can't, we can't just think that this is all a fairy tale, or this is just I don't know, a dream, a bad dream. This is real. This is happening. Let's take a listen to this news reporter, and it'll give you a little bit more insight of what I'm talking about.
That Russia is calling a major escalation. Ukraine, for the first time, used long-range American-made missiles, they're known as ATACMS, to strike more than 70 miles inside Russia. Russian leader Vladimir Putin responded with a nuclear threat. CBS's Holly Williams reports tonight from Kyiv.
U.S. officials say Ukraine fired 8 American-made ATACMS into Russia. This video appears to show a launch, though we can't verify it. The target was a military facility in the Bryansk region of southern Russia, according to the Russian Defense Ministry. U.S. officials say the Russians may have shot down 2 of the missiles, powerful weapons with a maximum range of close to 200 miles.
First of all, it's going to help our troops right now at the front lines.
Alexandra Ustinova is a member of Ukraine's parliament who told us she lobbied the U.S. government to allow Ukraine to use the ATACMS deep inside Russia. The U.S. only agreed to it 2 days ago, worried it could escalate the conflict.
Are you angry that the U.S. didn't give Ukraine permission earlier to use the ATACMS deep inside Russia?
I'm really disappointed that every decision that the U.S. government is making comes about 6 months later than it was needed.
Russia accuses the U.S. of adding fuel to the fire. And today, Vladimir Putin approved a change in Russia's nuclear doctrine, lowering the threshold for a nuclear strike. A U.S. official called that irresponsible rhetoric. President Biden allowed the broader use of ATACMS after more than 10,000 North Korean soldiers were deployed to Russia, bolstering Moscow's forces. Today, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky warned that number could grow to 100,000.
Putin is focused on winning this war. He will not stop on his own.
Today marks 1,000 days since Vladimir Putin launched his invasion. We were here when it began, Nora, and we've witnessed Ukrainians lose their homes, their limbs and their lives in a war they never wanted.
Okay, so they asked this lady from Ukraine. They had been asking, well, basically, Ukraine's been asking help 6 months ago to give them the okay, the authorization to send the but nothing happened. Why? I think it's a political stunt costing us. I think there's a political stunt. You know why they did it now? Because so maybe they could strike up a little war. And you know wars, they take months, years. Now that I think about it, why didn't they give the green light 6 months ago? Why are they doing it now? Of course, because after the election, right? Let's just say if Biden had won, Kamala Harris won, I don't think they would have gave him the green light to do the. But because Republicans, we won by a landslide, we're taking the country back. We're taking that patriotic spirit back. We're taking Jesus Christ, putting Jesus Christ back into our country, into our things. The Dems are pissed. I think the Democrats, you got to be very careful, guys. If you guys are Democrats, I love everybody. I love everyone. You got to realize the Democrats, the left, they hate us. I ain't going to lie. I don't know how else to say it, but they hate us. They hate Americans. They hate God. They hate the nuclear family. They just hate this country. You know, we're in the end times. We're in the end times. All of this, of course, is going to happen. It has to run its course. It has to play out. It says in Revelation and in the prophecies, in time prophecies, that all of this is supposed to happen. But you know what? We can still continue to pray. We got to pray for our countries. We got to pray for our states, our government, our families, and also Christians abroad, Christians in other countries. We're brothers, we're sisters. We got to pray. We got to put Jesus back into our homes, into our families, not just here in the United States, but everywhere else. Christians in Ukraine, Christians in Russia, Christians in China, in the Middle East. Pray. Jesus is the answer. We've heard that, right? We've heard that growing up. Oh, Jesus is the answer. Jesus is the answer. I know it sounds typical, right? And saying it sounds cliche-ish, but Jesus is the answer. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life, right? The enemy comes to kill, steal, and destroy, and I'm always saying this, but he does. But when we put on the full armor of God, we good. The devil can't touch you. Let's just say if there is an all-out war, nuclear war, they shoot up over here, and we're gone. It's going to be a win-win for us Christians. To be absent in the body is to be present with the Lord. Are we going into World War III? I think we can stop it. We'll stop it with prayer. And if Putin doesn't get so pissed off, because remember, Putin, he's a bad man. He's a bad mamma jamma. Here's a clip of him.
Do the United States need this? What for? Thousands of miles away from your national territory. Don't you have anything better to do? You have issues on the border, issues with migration, issues with the national debt, more than $33 trillion. You have nothing better to do, so you should fight in Ukraine? Wouldn't it be better to negotiate with Russia? Make an agreement, already understanding the situation that is developing today? Do the United States need this? What for? Thousands of miles away from your national territory. Don't you have anything better to do? You have issues on the border, issues with migration, issues with the national debt.
So basically he's saying, United States, stay out of it. Stay out of it. You got your own issues, and we do have our own issues. Why can't we solve our own dang issues here in the United States? And we have to send so much money to other countries when we could use it. But of course, it's because it's the Democrats that run this nation, the Democrats that are running this nation. As you could hear, Putin, I believe this was with Tucker Carlson on a podcast. I forget when it was, probably about a year ago or so. So Putin definitely knows that we're in trouble within. He knows that we're weak. He knows we're in trillions of debt. He knows we got issues with our border. He knows we're at our weakest point. He knows that we're vulnerable. So why should we even get involved with Ukraine and Russia at this moment? We got to fix ourselves up. And that's why President Trump came. He's going to fix this country with this all-star cabinet. I mean, with the people that's going to be working for him in his administration. I mean, it's an all-star team. And I pray to Jesus that you cover Trump and his team. You cover this administration, everybody that's involved, our governments, even to our local government, our judges. In the name of Jesus, we just ask you to continue to move in this country, be in our schools, be in our families, be with us men, because it starts with the men, and to be men. Men, be men. Men, train up your sons, train up your boys to be godly, moral, stand-up citizens, people. There's where it starts. And then all of this other stuff that's happening in the government should fix itself. Once we put God in our schools, we put prayer back. We're not ashamed to be patriots. We're not ashamed to be Christians and to pray. Everything's going to fix itself up. Continue to pray for Trump as we go into this transition in January, inauguration, making Trump official. There's going to be a lot opposition continuing coming against us, coming against the country, coming against Christians, coming against patriots. We got to pray. We got to pray that Putin is just bluffing. Because Putin's a smart man, and he knows Trump is going to be president, and he knows that things are going to be fixed. So maybe this is just a little a bark. Hopefully this is a bark and no bite. Continue to pray. And like I said, if you're scared, fear doesn't come from God. It comes from the enemy. Jesus came to give us peace. He came to give us life and life in abundance. Cry out to Jesus if you're afraid. If you don't know what's going on, if you feel confused, cry out to Jesus. Love you guys. We'll see you on the next video. Peace out. If you want to further support this channel, you could check out the links below. It is an affiliated link with Officer Tatum's store, which he has tons of awesome pro-Trump, pro-MAGA, pro-Jesus shirts, hoodies, cups, you name it. Check it out down in the link below.